might bump into them. And they might say, "What's your problem?" Or, "Hey, watch it." Okay? So when you bump into somebody. If you're in New York, it's very easy to bump into somebody because there are so many people in New York. Money to burn. This means you have a lot of money and you don't care about your money. You just spend money all the time. So if you imagine you're burning money, okay, so you're just spending money very fast. We also say to burn a hole in your pocket. So you put money in your pocket. If you burn a hole in your pocket, it means you're spending money very quickly. Okay, spending a lot of money. Vanish. Okay, so if you buy a very beautiful cake for your birthday and you go to the kitchen and you put your cake on the table and you go out to do something and you come back, your cake is gone. Okay, your cake vanished. Okay, it's just gone. So maybe you have to find your brother or sister and see if they ate your cake or somebody stole your cake. Okay, bank. A bank is a place where you save money or you take out money. Okay, it's a place. So banks, Taiwan has many different types of banks. Trying to think, there's trying to think of a Taiwanese bank. Can't think of any. But there are many different types of banks. Sneak is an action. Okay, when you're little and your mom says you can't have any candy. Maybe at night you sneak into the kitchen and steal some candy. Okay, so sneak, the action. Okay. Crawl. When you're a baby, you cannot walk. You crawl on the floor. Okay, so crawl. If you're in the army, okay, you also have to crawl through the dirt and the mud for training, for army training. Bystander. Okay, a bystander is a person who is standing near who might get hurt. So let's say there was an explosion and there were many bystanders, okay, and they got hurt. Okay, so there are people that were nearby, they're standing close when something bad happens. Okay. The last one, playing with fire. Okay, this means you are doing something that might not end very well. Okay, it might be bad. So let's say you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but you decide you want 2 girlfriends or 2 boyfriends. Okay, we would say you're playing with fire. Okay, if the first girlfriend or boyfriend finds out, you're going to get in trouble and maybe you'll have no boyfriends or girlfriends. Okay, so you're playing with fire. You're doing something that might not end very well. Okay, so these are some of the things they will have in the first story. Okay, so let's read the first story. All you have to do is listen. Okay, I'm just going to ask a few questions after, and I'll explain everything slowly. Okay, so this is about the first superhero, Blaze. Okay, Blaze has the power of fire, so this is his story. Okay. After years of waiting, Blaze was finally being released from prison. His daughter Iris came to pick him up. Years earlier, they had been in a gang, but now they had both paid for their crimes. Blaze had left the gang and burned his bridges. Okay, so Blaze is in prison. Okay, remember, bad guys go to prison. So he did something bad. He was in a gang, and he got caught by the police. And now they are releasing him from prison. They're letting him go. Maybe he was there for 5 years or 10 years. I don't know how long, but he was there for a reason, okay? And outside is his daughter Iris. Okay, so Iris is helping him come out of the prison. Do you have everything? Iris asked. Blaise felt in his pocket for a small bottle of medicine. It was the cure for a rare disease he had. But when Blaise had first taken it, his hand had burst into flames. Amazingly, the fire didn't burn him. The medicine gave Blaise the power to make and control fire. This news had spread quickly among the prisoners. As Blaise was leaving, another prisoner who was being released bumped into him. Blaise recognized him as Mr. Golden. He had been a businessman with money to burn before he became a criminal. When Blaise reached Iris's car, he felt in his pocket again. The medicine had vanished. Okay, so Blaise had a disease. Okay, he was very sick, and he took a medicine. And this medicine, with the disease, gave him the power of fire. Okay, so he could control fire, he could make fire. But there were other people in prison that heard about this and wanted also to have this power. So there was one man named Mr. Golden. Okay, so he's the bad guy in the story. So he stole Blaise's medicine, and now Mr. Golden, the bad guy, can also use fire. So this will be the problem in the story. Sometime later, Blaise and Iris heard a news report on the car radio. A downtown bank had caught fire. Blaise asked Iris to drive him there. He intended to use his power to help. Iris burned rubber to get downtown. Drivers shouted, "Where's the fire?" But she didn't slow down. When they arrived, the bank was going up in flames, and police and firefighters were standing nearby. Okay, so they were driving in their car, and they heard on the radio that a bank was on fire. So Blaise, he can control fire, so he wanted to go and help. Okay. Blaise couldn't use his power to put out such a big fire, but he pushed the flames aside to let people out. He wasn't content to wait outside. He worried that someone trapped inside might be burned to a crisp. So he sneaked past the firefighters and went inside. Okay, so he pushed the fire away to let people escape, to get them out. Blaise didn't mind heat, but he had to crawl so he wouldn't breathe in too much smoke. Then he saw someone running toward him. As the man got near, Blaise realized it was Mr. Golden, and he was carrying a bag of money. Okay, so if Mr. Golden is inside this bank that is on fire and he has a bag of money, is he in there doing good things? No. He's probably stealing the money, and he probably started the fire, right? So he's not a good guy, he's a bad guy. "Thanks for the medicine," Mr. Golden said. He threw a ball of fire at Blaise and ran outside. The ball of fire missed Blaise. He ran after Mr. Golden and came out from the building. He saw Mr. Golden throwing balls of fire at the police officers. Blaze decided to fight fire with fire. He yelled, "Stop!" Blaze and Mr. Golden began to fight. Iris helped the bystanders get out of the way. Finally, Blaze hit Mr. Golden, and he dropped the bag. Realizing he couldn't win, Mr. Golden ran to a car. He turned on the engine and drove away. Police officers tried to follow, but he escaped. The police asked Blaze to help them catch Mr. Golden, and he agreed. When Blaze explained the situation to Iris, she said, "The burning question is, what will Mr. Golden do next?" Blaze didn't know. He realized he was playing with fire, but he was eager to do the right thing. Okay, so he sees Mr. Golden, they start fighting, okay, fighting and fighting like superheroes fighting bad guys, and Mr. Golden gets in a car and drives away, and they don't catch him. Okay, so in most superhero stories, the bad guy loses, but in this superhero story, he gets away. So it's kind of different, right? It's a little bit different. So, if you were Blaze, would you try to help catch Mr. Golden? Or would you just ignore him? Would you help, or would you say it's not my problem? What do you think? Would you help catch him, or would you do your own thing? I had students in my last class, they said, well, maybe I would just live my life and ignore Mr. Golden. But that's not what a superhero does, right? Superheroes save people and they catch bad guys. That's what they do. Sometimes superheroes cause more problems though, right? They destroy things, they make a mess when they're trying to catch the bad guy. So sometimes it doesn't always go well, okay? If you could have any superpower, what would it be? If you could be a superhero, what would your superpower be? So if I were a superhero, my superpower would be changing into any animal. So if I want to be scary, I can be a tiger. If I want to fly, I can be a bird. If I want to swim in the ocean, I can be like a shark. Okay, so I would want to change into any animal. Okay, but what would you do? What would your superpower be? I'll let you think for a second. If you had any superpower, what would it be? Think about your power. So there's flying, fire, water, mind reading, okay, reading people's minds. Let's see, invisibility, where people can't see you. Trying to think, you know, there's Spider-Man, where you could use like a spider web, or Batman. What is Batman's superpower? He's just kind of extra strong, right? And he's good with weapons. Did you guys see the movie Deadpool? Do you know the superhero movie Deadpool? No? It was really funny. It's a good superhero movie. But he can use like swords really fast and guns. Trying to think. There's Wolverine. He has the things coming out of his hands. Wolverine. My husband, he calls him King Kong Wolf. I don't know why. King Kong Wolf. But he's called Wolverine. I'm trying to think of other superheroes. There's Superman. He can fly. He's super strong. He can shoot lasers from his eyes. Okay. But what would your superpower be if you were a superhero? Think of just one. So let's go around, right? I really want to know because this is fun for me. I like this. Okay, so what will your superpower be? Okay, let's start over here. One superpower. If you could have any superpower.
I want to fly.
Fly, okay. Alright. See, that's easy. I want to fly. Alright, what would your superpower be? Okay, invisibility. Okay, to be invisible, where people can't see you, right? So then you can, you know, if you want to see the answers to a test, maybe you can see the answers or go anywhere you want. Okay, good, good. All right, and you?
I want to disappear too.
Okay, very good. All right. Okay, fly. Okay, good, good. All right, and you?
I want to transparent.
Transparent. Okay, be transparent. Good. Okay.
I want to fly too.
Okay.
We can fly together.
Yeah, fun is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and you?
Go anywhere.
Go anywhere. Okay, cool. So you would be what is it called? Teleportation, where you think of some place and you go there. Right? Yeah. Okay, teleportation. Okay. So lots of different ideas. Some of them the same. That's okay. It's really fun when we're little kids, right? And you can pretend to have the superpowers, right? When you take a stick and you just play with your cousin or your friends saying, I have the power of magic and stuff. So it's fun. Okay, so that was Blaise. He has the power of fire. And now we have Harry, who has the power of water. Okay, so there's some words for this one too. So the first word is lab. Okay, a lab is a place where a scientist works. Okay, so they make medicine, they make chemicals, they do a lot of experiments. Okay, it's where a scientist works. Keep your head above water. We say this when you have a lot of stress. Okay, maybe today your teacher gave you a lot of homework, and you feel like there's so much homework that you're drowning in your homework. Okay, so you have to keep your head above your homework or above water, so you don't drown in the things you're busy with. Okay, work, school, maybe your relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or family problems. So it kind of just means keep going, or you can do it. Okay, I know the Chinese expression is 加油, 加油, right? So this is kind of the same idea, is to keep going, you can do it. So keep your head above water. Explode, okay? Something can explode, like if you take a can of Coca-Cola and you shake it, it can explode, right? All over everybody and make a mess. Or a can of beer, or a can of 7-Up, anything that is soda, you shake it and it explodes. Okay. Wince. Okay, this is what wince looks like. Okay, that's wince. So let's say you're walking and you accidentally hit your foot on something.